What's going down, Sourdough Squad? We're back again with another film breakdown, and I'm excited to report to you guys that this is going to be our fourth uh, offensive film breakdown that features Brock Purdy. And again, because we're trying to answer the question, is Brock Purdy for real? We're about to find out right after this. You already know the vibes. Drop an SDS in that chat, smash that like button, and let's get this film breakdown going. Let's go. Hold on. I hit the wrong intro button. How dare I? Let's reset that. Let's go. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. Gotcha there. Ho ho! Faked you out. You're like, where's the normal intro? Just kidding. Gotcha. No. I'm looking forward to this one. This was we're going to get another opportunity here to watch a legend being formed and made right in front of our eyes. And of course, yes, gotta shout out everyone who rides with the channel. We got over 50 million views. We really started this thing back in 2021. This is our first full year from 2022 January to now, where we've gone full steam ahead with our content strategy. And I think it's safe to say it's paying off. So shout out to all you guys out there that continue to subscribe, watch. We appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Brock Purdy. And not only Brock Purdy, there's a lot of good takeaways from this tape. George Kittle had a phenomenal day. The offensive line as a whole, pretty good. Mike McGlinchey, a lot was made about those two false starts, and rightfully so. There were some killer false starts. However, he played phenomenally this game, and that's now 3 weeks in a row. Again, outside the penalties, and you look at the entire body of work, Mike McGlinchey has put up 3 stellar games back to back. So definitely looking forward to getting into all this again. We have a nice film breakdown headed for you today. So do me a favor, smash that like button. Let's get these likes up. Let's get more people in here so we can vibe on this film breakdown. No updates, I believe, as of today. Let me do my quick check before we hop right into the tape. Just want to make sure we got no updates because Kyle. Oh, yep. Here we go. Got an update. The 49ers sign Curtis Robinson to the team's practice squad, and they release cornerback Trey Swilling. So again, Robinson was waived on Friday. They used one of their IR designations to bring him back earlier in the year, which Kyle Shanahan is openly talking about how that probably wasn't the best decision in the world, because now the 49ers have had to make the decision to bring back either Elijah Mitchell or Hassan Ridgeway. They're opting to bring back Elijah Mitchell, which means Hassan Ridgeway is done for the year, even though he probably would have been back for the playoffs. So that whole Curtis Robinson IR return designation is starting to come back and haunt them a little bit. But he comes back to the practice squad after they finally released him from the active. But That looks like that's about it. That just came through. Let me double check. Make sure we got no more updates. And we will get into this film. Bay Marin says, "Happy birthday, Brock." It is Brock Purdy's birthday. Brock Purdy turns 23 today. Unbelievable. He doesn't play football like a 23-year-old. I'll tell you that. He plays football like a stone cold killer. That's been in the game for a minute. So he's been balling. Bay Marin goes on to say, "Happy holidays to the Niner Empire. May we have a happy Champions New Year." That's the goal. And that goal is definitely still alive with the way Brock Purdy is progressing. And you're going to see right away on this first play. So we're going to get into the first play. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a beverage or whatever you need to just sit back, relax, and enjoy this film breakdown. It's probably going to be a decently long one. We are going to go. I like the way we've been doing it recently. We're going to do chronological. So we're going to start at the beginning and we're going to go all the way to the end. We're obviously not going to play every play, but we're going to pick the important ones. And I think it's a really helpful way of painting the contextual picture of what is being accomplished here, because I think we can agree it's easy to pull clips and make things look better than they are or worse than they are. So we're going to keep riding this wave of going in order. So this play, right off the bat, I broke this one down earlier on Twitter and on YouTube, and I posted this one. But again, it's a good one. First play of the game, the complexity involved in regards to it's effectively a play action. They're going to show pitch, so that's the look is to show pitch. But then Brock Purdy comes right back under and delivers a dart to Brandon Ayuk. And again, just last night, Justin Herbert throws a little sidearm sling. And of course, everyone, oh, look at Justin Herbert, sidearm sling. Oh, look at Patrick Mahomes, sidearm sling. What about our man's Brock Purdy's here, huh? Little Brock and roll, baby. Ooh, perfect pass. And again, what makes this particular play a great play is there's multiple levels to this. Turning your back to the defense, identifying free rusher, not having time to set your feet, and then dropping the arm slot to a sidearm dime. Again, it's a 10-yard completion, air yards, but there's a lot of complexity here, and it's the first play of the game. So, very excited. Off to a great start with what Brock Purdy, again, is capable of doing. And, it's just we can only compare to what we've had in the past. And Brock Purdy is, again, showing that there aren't too many limitations in regards to what he can do within the scheme. So, pretty excited about it. However, no, is it this one? No, it's the next one. So started off decent, right? That was a good first play. We can't show just the good ones. We'll show the bad ones as well, because guess what? It's football and it's not all perfect. So this one is definitely one that Brock would want to have back. Not sure why it kind of got one-hopped to Ayuk. I mean, it was on the right path, just didn't quite make it there. So whatever that reason may be, I don't have a good one for you. but we'll take a look at it because again, not everything is perfect, and you can see he was on the right path, just died on him a little bit. Was that because he had to go over the top of the defender? Again, spatial awareness. If you've been here for a film breakdown before, you understand that you're going to see this a lot where Brock is seemingly getting this thing right over the hands of the defenders. And we're going to also point out here on this particular play, Aaron Banks, because we've also broken this particular play down in the past, where on this play action look, Aaron Banks hasn't gotten to the right spot. And we've seen Purdy kind of have to bail out of this positioning where he kind of angles in the pocket. And we've had to see Purdy like escape back. Banks has corrected that, and on every time they did it in this game, he didn't always win the blocks, but he was in the proper leverage that allowed Brock Purdy to sit comfortably where he should be sitting and not have to scramble back to the opposite side. That was something that we identified like last week, I believe it was. This was a decent run by CMC. We'll look at some of the runs as well. I love this thing that they're doing where they're pulling the tight ends or fullback at full speed. Um, Definitely was close to being a big breaker. You're going to see Kittle pull across the formation. It's basically it's still like a double to backer concept, except Kittle gets a full steam ahead, get the body, get him out the way, and then get to second level. CMC just got a bit ahead. If he was able to kind of get behind Kittle's hip here, it's a hard to ask for both guys on this one, that definitely could have been a house call. Like you can see if CMC is just behind Kittle, Kittle's getting this block, and then you see all the green that CMC had to work with. But again, it's a there's some timing to it. It's a difficult blocking concept. So still, positive gain on the day. But let's get into the next play. We're gonna get a nice little touch pass over the middle from Brock Purdy. The particular thing that I like most about this play is the timing. I think the timing of this is something that we can look at and kind of compare and contrast of like what we potentially seen from Jimmy Garoppolo in the past within the scheme. I think historically, when we watch Jimmy's film, Jimmy will wait for Kittle to be like breaking open. I would say you can see um, Kittle is going to play the leverage of I think that's a safety there, and then he's going to break inside. I feel like historically, when we've watched Jimmy's tape, Jimmy will kind of wait and start the throwing motion here, which kind of pushes the window over. You can see how Kittle catches it right on the hash. And as a result, he has an opportunity to make guys miss and get yards after catch. I feel like what we've seen in the past is Jimmy is like he's like a touch later than this, where maybe Kittle's catching it at about this point, and then the safety is on him. And that's the difference that I am seeing. You know, when we talk about like Jimmy will put it on a rope and he'll get it there in a hurry and he'll put it on Kittle. But historically, we've seen Jimmy kind of wait for guys to get open. Look at when you see that elbow up, the throwing motion has begun. Brock Purdy has decided before Kittle has really even broken out of his route that he's going to throw this ball to Kittle. And it's perfect. Couldn't be a more perfect throw. And you get the yak after that. So small differences, but the timing here is what I believe helps Kittle to be able to make that safety miss, and then you get this great tackle by the DB, just bounces off of him. Kittle doing what he does. So again, this is a rookie that we're watching. It's a it was his third start, fourth game, like fourth real game in the NFL, and the timing that he has, the anticipation, that's pretty damn nice. Easy money. All right. What's this next one? We're gonna sprinkle in runs. It's not gonna be all Brock Purdy. So TDP. This is the first time we've seen TDP get some action in some time. I'm not gonna lie. I was pleasantly pleased with Ty Davis Price, the third round rookie draft pick out of LSU. Was he phenomenal? Was he a game breaker? No, but he was definitely solid. I'll give TDP that. Um, I got to shout out 22. 22 is becoming, I think, one of my. I really like Forrest, the safety for Washington. I like him a lot. The way he comes up and, I mean, we know TDP is a load, right? He can lower your shoulder. I mean, the fact that Forrest gets, low pad level wins, gets the shoulder under TDP's, picks him up. Hey, I don't like the Commanders, but I got respect for this guy Forrest. He's just a playmaker. I like the way he balls. If the 49ers ever had an opportunity to get him over here, I'd be all for it. I like him. I like them a lot. But we're not here to watch them. We're here to watch us. What particular play is this? This particular play, I really like this by Trent Williams. This is a hard block. Get your head across. Whew. Get your head across. Look at that leverage. Like, that is a win. That is a hard block, ladies and gentlemen. You got a three tech. That's Jonathan Allen, probably one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL. He's probably top five, if not top three. The way Trent shoots his head across and creates that leverage, beautiful. If I have to nitpick anyone here, I'm going to nitpick Aaron Banks. Banks did this a couple times this game. You can't be standing up like this. If I had, putting my pretend offensive lineman coach hat on, like I'm coaching this guy, the coaching point here would be you can't be running standing straight up like this. You got to have some arm or some back angle to you. You have to have some low pad level because you can see this leverage here by the linebacker defeats his leverage and he gets pushed into the hole. So if Banks can get some hip bend, get the pads in front of his knees a little bit, and drive into 51, this is probably a decent game. But Banks gets pushed back. So, and we're going to see this a couple times. So that's my coaching point for Banks this particular game. When you're getting the backer, man, let's get that base wide, pad level, drive. We'll get a nice gain there for sure. But still not bad. I think the next one is the fourth. No, not this one. The fourth down pitch. So I want to talk about this pitch play because I think at first, like when I first saw it live, I was like, oh, this is a terrible play. It's actually not a terrible play. It actually was designed perfectly and definitely could have been a touchdown if Juice got the ball out in time. Because if you look, if he threatens inside and pitches here, right? Because as the ball carrier who is pitching on the play, you're trying to draw the defenders to you. And so he does that, but he holds the ball and then tries to pitch it like while contact is being made, that's why the play failed. If he could have pitched it here, about right here, as he's cutting up, pitch out, look at CMC and look at the green grass in front of him. That's probably a house call. CMC has to somehow get this catch. I mean, good on CMC for not being a couple yard loss here. But if Juice could just get that ball out a little sooner, there's a good chance they're going to the house on that one. 22 would have been the only line of defense if CMC catches this in stride about right here. If you get the ball to CMC right there, I imagine CMC's gone. So I originally didn't love the play call, and upon watching, it was actually a good play call, just wasn't executed properly. So I apologize, Shanny, if I cursed you on the timeline for that play. It was a good play, just not executed properly. Here we go. We got some Brock Purdy magic. What do we got from Brock? Let's see what we get. What do we get here? Not bad. One of the points here that I could point to is I love Brock Purdy's just pocket presence in his pocket. Like he just moves so fluidly within the pocket, like it's just so natural to him. Like he understands he has protection sliding to his left, and he obviously sees the glaring hole in front of him, and he just feels comfortable to work up into the pocket, find his check down, and hits CMC. Not bad. Was this so? But this actually, I saw this a couple times. So watch Georgie, watch Georgie, watch the safety. They this defense played. This defense really kept the middle of the field open quite a bit. If Brock wanted to, this could have been a touchdown. This could have been house call. I mean, you're looking at the safety. Watch the safety. He completely bails out of the middle. He's going to pull on to Brandon Ayuk, and you basically have, I don't know, is this a cornerback just like playing bail technique or whatever? Um, and you have this whole field open because this guy is out. You can see Kittle snap his head around because I think he's like, "Oh, this is it. This is house call." Look at the body language. He knew it. He's like, "Ah, that was a touchdown, baby." So, but the point being is that they came back to this later on in the game. So, just something he took the check down, got good yardage. I think it ultimately turns into about a 6-yard gain, which you'll take absolutely every day of the week. But you get your shots there, and they came back to it later. They definitely saw it, and they dialed up later in the game because they were seeing that the safeties were kind of leaving the middle field open, and they definitely took advantage of it. Uh, also, Mike McGlinchey, fantastic game by Mike. Yes, the penalties, not good. Penalties are never good, but that's not how we evaluate offensive linemen. Looking at the entire body of work, Mike McGlinchey had a really good game. Really good game. Offensive line in general, I think, had a really good game, which is kind of what I was hoping for down the stretch. But I think, as I say, the offensive line had a good game. I think we get a sack here. So let's look at the sack, why the sack occurred, not this play. Oh, this play is more Brock Purdy magic. Um, so we'll get the sack next play. But Brock Purdy here does again, he's just nothing. It's not great. Play action, turn your back to the defense, whip your head around. The first thing you have is Montez Sweat, one of the more athletically gifted edge rushers in the NFL, hunting you down. He slips. Look at the slip. He slips, somehow regains, almost drops the football, ducks the shoulder so Sweat doesn't get him, is able to get back on track, bails out, sidearm, and we got to give credit where credit is due. Safety made a phenomenal play. This guy Reeves, he was voted to the Pro Bowl this year. Um, I mean, that's just a phenomenal individual play by Reeves to get to that ball. Um, so I'm going to give credit to both players. I'm going to give credit for Brock Purdy for keeping this thing alive. I mean, this was a ball that Ayuk could have caught. You can make the case. You can maybe get it out in front of Ayuk a little bit more. Um, that way, Ayuk is the only guy that has an opportunity to get this. But again, you got to give credit where credit is due. Reeves did a phenomenal job of closing on this and breaking it up. I mean, it's a bang bang play, so I don't think it deserves a penalty. You can see he gets there early, right? You see him hook and shoot, but that's a phenomenal play by the safety, man. So I'm going to credit both. Brock Purdy, great job keeping the play alive and trying to give Ayuk a chance, and also phenomenal job by Reeves to break that up. That's just a great play by the safety. This is the sack. So this this I was talking about this a little bit yesterday. This is where Burford is struggling. Like, Burford has all the tools. He has all the traits. He has the size. Like, once Burford figures this stuff out, he's going to be a fantastic offensive lineman, but this is just kind of where he's at. Like, he gets caught. There's probably 2 or 3 times a game that he'll get caught in a spot where he kind of does the wrong thing. So you're gonna see their sliding protection to the left. They get a they get a numbers game here. Um, there's no running back in to protect, and the Washington Commanders get 3-on-2. So they already have numbers, but you can see Burford is working like he has Brendel sliding the ops to his side, which is why he passes him off. And then you got 2-on-1, and it becomes you got 2 free rushers. So all Purdy can do is just take the sack. Um, Ideally, how this situation would work if they catch the offensive line sliding protection. Again, this looks like I believe this is an even front. So they pick a side, I probably based on whoever they identify as the mic, and they slide protection that way. But shout out to Washington, they drop out the defensive end. They get numbers on the backside, but Burford passes off Jonathan, or no, that's Payne to no one, and so it turns into a sack. Um, what we've seen in the past is Brock Purdy will get free rushers on him, but that's his guy, and he probably makes a move, makes a guy miss, but there's just nothing he could do here. So this is where Burford, again, phenomenal traits. He's a rookie. He's going to play well, but this is just where Burford is struggling in his rookie season, and they'll be able to figure it out. Definitely. Um, and I just see some. And so again, I think people are saying this is on the center and this is on McGlinchey. It's not. It's they are sliding protection. There's a reason they're sliding protection. Center slides one way. They're not sliding protection to the left. You can tell by the way Mike McGlinchey goes man on 52. Burford should have been man on 94. 90 would have been free. They're supposed to be sliding to the left. Um, it's not on. It's a function of scheme and Burford passing off someone that he doesn't have inside help with. We've broken this play down many a time on this channel. But like I said, Burford's gonna get it. He'll figure it out. Let's go to so they got the sack, had the punt, and now they're trying to get it out of their own end zone. This was a nice run. And play like this is where Burford makes up for the sack. Watch this run block by Burford. Really nice. Nice job here. This is just your standard zone run concept. CMC does a good job of cutting inside of Aaron Banks. You're going to get this double concept. So you're going to see Brendel's going to give a helping hand. Burford's going to take over. Brendel's going to get to backer, and they're going to wash these two guys out. You're going to see McGlinchey on the backside make sure that he can get in front of this, head across, opposite side shoulder, does just enough, ends up with Payne on the ground. It's a nice run there. So offensive line, for the most part, played pretty well in the day. But let's fast forward a little bit. It says my notes say big time throw. Oh, we got a pass breakup. Chase Young was waiting for that one. Okay. So this one, my notes say big time throw to Juwan on third. Oh yeah. Get your popcorn ready. This is a fantastic throw. Absolutely. I mean, just talk about threading the needle. You ever hear that you ever hear that term? Whoo! Look at where that linebacker is. He goes low and away. Shout out to Juwan for digging it out, but holy crap. Like this throw. You know when you hear like Kittle, when you hear Kyle referencing Brock Purdy's big sack, this is what they're talking about. Like the balls to just drop your foot into the ground and let this thing rip when you've got multiple levels to get the ball through and thread the needle. I mean, look at how close this ball is. Like this linebacker had front row seats, and that's Jamin Davis. He's a good linebacker. He's fast too. You're gonna see some instances of how fast he is later on in the tape, but, I mean, to fit it through that window, away from the linebacker, away from the safety, and I believe it is 3rd and 9. So this is a big money throw. These are one of those throws that you gotta have. And Jawan Jennings comes up big again on 3rd down. Great, one of his better throws. That's a signature BCB throw right there. All right. This is one of my favorite plays, not only of the day, but it's been one of my favorite. This has definitely been one of my favorite plays in some recent weeks. Oh, the blocking like this, you guys know I am huge on blocking because I'm a former offensive lineman, so I look at blocking as an art form. To me, when the big fatties are running into each other, there's an art to it. It is not just big mamma jammas running their bellies into each other. There's a lot of technique that is involved in run blocking. In this play, you get a whole bunch of it. You get it from almost everyone involved, including your running back, Christian McCaffrey. But let's go back to front. Let's try that. Let's go back to front. Let's start with Willie Snead. No, I'm going to go front to back. We're going to start with these three. We're going to start with these three. So these three and hat tip to Burford are going to be a huge reason, and of course Willie Snead. But let's start with these three. So Mike has he's got a shaded defensive tackle, not his responsibility, not his responsibility at all. What Mike is trying to do is he's trying to angle and cut off this linebacker, and it's going to be a hard block because you're going to see he's going to get the little bit of a head start because he's alert to Ray in motion. So Mike does a good job getting hat on body, and he brings the linebacker to the ground with a phenomenal pancake. What the hell? That wasn't weird or anything. Um, but you get the phenomenal pancake from Mike McGlinchey. Boom. One of my favorite things of this play is that you basically get a combo block from CMC and Kittle. That's a defensive tackle. CMC is is blocking a defensive tackle. Kittle's going to try to get to this here. You can see it, but he understands CMC's coming on his inside shoulder. And if this guy's going to flow over the top, Kittle's going to pick him up. Picked him up perfectly. Willie Snead. Willie Snead out here doing work. Look at this block by Willie, man. Really creating the running lane. Like these three guys, or these four guys right here, phenomenal job. Also, we got to give a shout out to Burford for reach blocking this. Nice. You can see quickly if Burford isn't able to get this block, there's easy penetration right here, plays dead. So great job by Brendel or Burford as well. Speaking of Brendel, watch Brendel collect the body here. We got a body on the ground. Ooh, cooked. Shout out Pro Bowl alternate Jake Brendel. Absolutely lighting up Jonathan Allen. Whew, popped him. Boop. So this whole play is just chef's kiss. It's beautiful. Mike, Kittle, CMC, Sneed, Brendel, Burford, Banks, Trent, everyone. A plus. Play call, A plus. Fantastic. But they come back after the touchdown. Oh, the interception. So we're going to be particular on this particular play. So obviously the ball is on him. I think it because it looks like it's gonna hit him around the knee area. I mean, if we're going to nitpick this, probably want to bring the ball up a little bit. I think that's fair to ask for, but that doesn't mean, that should be the outcome. Typically, that's good enough. Put it on him. Should have been a catch. Just an unfortunate scenario all the way around. Uh, got his hands on it. Obviously, a little low. Looks like it bounced. Trying to bring it back in, hits it up right into the hands of the guy like Forrest. So if you want to assign blame, I think if you ask Juwan Jennings, he said, I should have caught that. I bet if you ask Brock, he said, I probably should have got that ball up a little bit more, made it a more manageable catch for Juwan. Regardless, one of those plays, just a unfavorable outcome. Nothing you can do about it. On to the next. On to the next. I've seen worse things happen. So that's not too bad. Not too bad. Let's see. We got about 500 people in here. I'm sure this video doesn't have 500 likes, so do the right thing and smash that like button. Love you guys. You're the best. Now let's watch Brandon Ayuk make a very difficult catch. Very difficult catch over the middle of the field. This is a big boy catch. Woo! Love it. Purdy puts it on him. Again, if we're going to nitpick ball placement, little high, but still catchable. It's the NFL. Make plays. Catches it. Knows he's going to get hit. Great job by Brandon. Great job by Brandon. Oh, yeah. We should be at 150 in a heartbeat because Purdy's cooking for us. But great individual effort by Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, you deserve to flex on that one. That was a great catch. Right into a linebacker. It's nice work there. Let's see. What are the progressions looking like? What's our front looking like? They rush 5, so you get a 5-on-5. Look at that beautiful pocket. You're going to get a little stunt at the top. Banks is where he needs to be. Brock Purdy finds the right guy. Great job. Great throw, better catch. Great throw, better catch. I think we're gonna go another completion to Kittle coming up. I mean, this is good stuff. Brock Purdy is operating this offense like a veteran. This offense is not at all limited by Brock Purdy playing at all. Again, you talk about his pocket awareness, his pocket presence, just the subtleties of you can see where his drop starts on this side of the hash. He fades over to create just to make sure he has enough spacing and also finding running passing lanes. I think that's one of the functions of Brock Purdy kind of being a smaller quarterback is that he's had to work around that, which means he has to kind of create his own passing lanes, and he's great at it. He's great at it. Just this little shift. Look, there's a hole in front of him. You can see everything. He understands where his protection is. Pitch and catch. That's easy. This offense is not limited. In fact, it feels enhanced with Brock Purdy at the helm. Like it really does. It's fantastic. It's one of the craziest developments of this season that we have a rookie with his in his third career start, not limiting the offense. And this is what do we talk about with Brock Purdy? Or I'm sorry, with Kyle Shanahan, his scheme and how complex it is and how difficult it is. He's stepping in, doing work. Um, this particular one, I wanted to highlight Brendel because again, I think Brendel's having a really good year, and I think he's having even a better year. I don't know, I'm not going to speculate. Maybe that Pro Bowl alternate nod gave him a little bit more confidence because he had a really good game this game. Um, this is Josh Allen. You can see you got Banks, Allen's inside shade of Banks. What Brendel's got to do is he's got to take over this block. He's got to reach it. You can see we always talk about head placement. You see the head lands and then the hips follow. This is like we could teach tape this. Like we could cut this and we could show this to if we want to say like how to execute um a double to backer because Banks does a really good job too. Banks stands there, he allows Brendel to take over the block, and then he peels to backer. Both guys do a phenomenal job here. Teach tape. We can use this. We can clip this, show this to people who are trying to learn. That's how good it is. These guys do a phenomenal job here, and you can see the lane that's created, and CMC gets some positive yards after the fact. But I know you guys aren't here for all the offensive line mumbo jumbo. You're here to watch George Kittle steal a touchdown from Ray McLeod. I love this more and more. Like, I love Kittle's explanation of the play. I love how he went through the coaching process and the coaching points for that play. And I love how he literally just stole a touchdown. This man stole a touchdown. And the best part is he does not care. I want this George. We want this George heading in to the playoff run. I mean, Kittle is just such a reputation of being, team first, great player. This is a man saying, screw everyone. I'm getting a touchdown. He knows where this ball is going, and he says, this is mine. And I applaud him. He said, hey, Kyle, shove this in your pipe and smoke it. He said, this is my touchdown. He said, I'm not gonna shout out Ray Ray. Got all the respect in the world for Ray Ray. But Ray Ray's been here a year. I've been here for 6. This is my touchdown. Kittle explained it how uh so you see that Kyle wanted Kittle to angle to the outside. So I think you're going to get like I don't know what the route concept is. You can see how Ray Ray's kind of angling out. I believe you get one of these like crossing like kind of deep crossing routes. Again, I'm not super hip to all the route lingo. That's not my specialty. I'm a trench guy, and I'll admit that. But based on how Kittle explained this, he made it sound like he was supposed to go out towards the sideline because they knew that the middle field was open. And again, we talked about this earlier about how the I don't know what it is, but the uh the the Commanders are just leaving the middle of the field open for a big majority of the game. And so Kittle's like, nah, bro, that's my touchdown. He said, I love you, Ray Ray, but that's my touchdown. And I love it. I need this. I need this character archetype. Like, it's beautiful. Not only is it beautiful that 2 guys could have had a touchdown here, you're going to get phenomenal pass blocking up front. This play, I clipped this and posted it earlier. It's again the team within the team, all 5 guys working together. You're going to get an interior stunt. Brunskill is going to push 94 into, I mean, he actually kind of helps Brendel go down a little bit, but he's able to stay on Payne, and then he's able to get back out on Allen. Great job, Brunskill. Brendel's going to engage with Allen. You can see Allen's even pushing Brendel because he wants to loop around. If you look at Trent is actually going to get beat with the inside move. So right there, Trent's beat. That is not a position you want to be in as an offensive lineman. Look at Banks. Banks is right there. Look at the whole time. Eyes to the outside. Eyes to the outside. Here's my chance. Bang. Takes both Trent and Chase Young down. Opposite side, Mike McGlinchey on an island. Great job, Mike. Fantastic. Get out there against Montez Sweat. Anchor like this Mike McGlinchey that we have seen the last 3 weeks is the type of Mike McGlinchey that is going to get a contract extension with the 49ers. 49ers Twitter might not love that idea, but if McGlinchey continues to play like this, they're going to sign him up. Sign him up for a multi-year extension because Mike McGlinchey has been playing fantastically these last 3 weeks. And then Brock Purdy just delivers a freaking dime. Beautiful. Great work. Great work, team. Look at him. 45-yard dart. I thought Brock Purdy had a noodle arm. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I thought I thought Purdy had a noodle arm. I don't know. All right, let's see. This one, I say my notes say elite throw, but play doesn't count. So why is this an elite throw in my notes? Ah, this is why. Again, we keep talking about spatial awareness with this guy. This guy just gets it. He feels it. Like, look at this trash around him. You're gonna get play action. So again, I can't emphasize enough that play action is a learned skill. The confidence, the ability, the wherewithal to turn your back to the defense, snap your head around, then read the defense. So you have to have an idea pre snap of what they're doing, turn your back, and readjust post snap to understand where you need to go with the football. And then to work through where you want to go with it. Now, you can make the case if he hits his back foot, hitch, plants, it looks like he has Brandon Ayuk here. Probably could have went to Brandon Ayuk. He didn't like it. So again, I don't have his brain and I don't know what he's thinking. But he comes back to Kittle, who is running a much longer developing route, and he puts it on him. And the reason why I like this play from Brock, even though I think there's a penalty, I don't remember. It's like I think they call holding on maybe Brunskill here, or they call it on Banks. Not really remembering exactly, but again, it's the process. Back turn to the defense. He's on Ayuk. For some reason, he doesn't like it. Comes off of it. Doesn't panic. Has two defenders barreling down on him, and again, look at the margin of error is paper thin for Brock to get this ball out. And Kittle is covered. My guy Forrest is all over him. I like this play. I don't know, something about this play just I liked it a lot. I like the process of the play. Didn't count, but I like how he got through the whole thing. Oh, look, it's Brock. We got to come up with like a nickname when Brock uh, turns on the wheels and gets out of there. Because this is a sack in the Jimmy Garoppolo era. Again, this when I say these things, it's not meant to throw shade. It's meant to just compare and contrast. Like this, unfortunately, is a sack in the Jimmy Garoppolo era, and like there's this awareness he has, and so I go back to that interview that Larry Kruger had with Brock, and Brock said that he tries to emulate Drew Brees and Russell Wilson. Well, this is Russell Wilson. That move, I know you know it well. I know you know this well. The bail opposite side, like that is Russell Wilson. He did this to the San Francisco 49ers for a decade. And right here, like I can't emphasize enough. Brock Purdy knows 20 is coming off the edge free. Right here, right now, he knows. that on his blind side, he has a I don't know, is that a nickel? Whatever he is, I don't know what position he plays. He knows that he's got a free rusher coming on his backside. Pause. And he understands how to bait that to get these guys to bait to the angle and then dip out. I mean, it is an incompletion. It didn't count for anything, but it wasn't a sack. And he was able, I mean, even the little twirly, uh, just the whole process, the little stutter, like, what the hell, man? When was the last time, like, you know, like even with Trey, we start to invoke Trey a little bit. Like, just this manipulation that he had, like the stutter, the like shoulder dip, like he's going to try to gain yards, to then backing out of it so he could, like, what the hell is this, man? Who is this guy? It's gonna be like this is like one of those like Scooby Doo, like the throwback Scooby Doo cartoons where like they spend the entire episode like trying to catch the ghost or like the monster or like the sea creature, like whatever it is. And then at the end, they like pull the mask off. Like it's like it's like Brock Purdy, and then they pull the mask off, and it's like prime Russell Wilson. You're like, who is this guy? If it wasn't for those darn kids and their stinking dog, like that's what this is. Like, we found this guy with the last pick in the NFL draft. Everyone should be fired. This guy is a perfect example of why scouting is a flawed process, because they put too much weight into the measurable things. The size, the height, weight, speed. Yes, you have to have height, weight, speed to play in the NFL, of course. But the differentiator that separates the bros from the Joes, or whatever the hell you want to say, call it, whatever. It's the intangibles, the heart, the brain, the leadership intangibles. That's what it is. Don't tell me next play, Dean. You don't tell me how to run my film breakdowns, Dean. Don't you dare. All right, next play. Uh this one is Ray taking his eyes off the football. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. All right, Dean. Here you go, Dean. I got you, Dean. Mean Dean, let's go. All right, what are we going to get? Another good pass. Another good pass. Wake up, honey. Purdy dart. Another tough catch by Brandon Ayuk. I'm not going to lie, dude. These two young safeties that the Commanders got, like the Commanders got low key dope defense. Like I know there was some hype going into it. I don't watch the Commanders, so I can't tell you. I can only go off what other people say. But I mean, they got some talent, like Forrest, Reeves, Jamin Davis. Like these guys are good. They're fast. Uh, just Brock Purdy doing Brock Purdy things. I mean, the margin of error again. You talk about being, paper thin, definitely paper thin. Uh, but he just has this rope. He can get the ball on the rope. I mean, it was close. Again, I would argue, when we talk about Brock Purdy's ability to throw with anticipation, I would probably say you could have threw this one with a little bit more anticipation. Like, you can see how he's kind of looks like a statue. See this kind of statue look? And he starts the process about here. See how Ayuk is already kind of turning his head and looking for it. Now, again, we're nitpicking. Just a reminder, we're nitpicking. But if you get the ball out about here, like you start your throwing motion about here, it's probably a little bit less margin for error. And yes, good eye, good eye. We talked about this earlier. We're going to see this a couple times. Going to see this a couple times. Look who's open on the play. Now, again, it looks like Brock picked the left side of the field. From what I know about kind of the way the progressions work in this scheme, again, I don't really know, but it's what I've heard from people who are much smarter than me. That you kind of typically pick half the field and you work off the half, and so he obviously picks left side. But if you look, like Kittle is definitely open. He's open here, and obviously you have a decent portion of the field to work with, but still, still a good play. And so the next play, we're gonna get a touchdown. We're gonna get a touchdown. Also, shout out to everyone. We're this again. Our film sessions have been going a lot longer recently because we've been having a great time kind of breaking down Brock Purdy. So I want to hand out some cookies early. Get your cookies now if you've been vibing with us the whole time. So grab your cookie, enjoy it while we get ready to watch another touchdown. And then you're going to get a double cookie at the end. For staying the whole time, and then you can get 3 cookies if you smash the like button right now. Do it. Do it. Big cookies. Grab your cookie, Jason. But let's watch Kittle go crazy. Love to see it. All right, what do we get? Play action, boot. Again, Brock Purdy makes these things possible. He makes these things possible. Play action, naked boot, pitch and catch. Shout out Jawan Jennings for being a dog, blocking downfield. And then George Kittle just does the rest. I like this particular angle because Jawan Jennings kind of makes the DB breakdance a little bit. Ooh. There you go. Make him breakdance, Jawan. Make him. Bands will make him dance, or Jawan will make you dance in this particular case, as he completely flat backed him. Loved that. But also great effort again by Kittle. And just everyone selling run action up front, getting everyone to bite, Kittle doing the rest. Juwan out as a lead blocker. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. So this next one, is this it? Is it it? It might be it. I called this next one Brock Purdy. My notes say Brock Purdy has a 99 in spatial awareness. Why did I say this has a 99 in spatial awareness? 20. Okay, this is going to give us a better view, but why is this a 99 in space? This is why. This is why. We're going to get to Ayuk. Definitely going to get to Ayuk, but we're going to talk about spatial awareness for a second. Uh, so the 99 is in reference to Madden rating. I believe at this point, if you had to give Brock Purdy if there was a spatial awareness rating, you have to give Brock a 99, and this is why. So again, we've talked about this play multiple times. It's a play action with pulling action up front. And again, we've talked about this leverage between Banks and Purdy and how Purdy sometimes has to work back underneath Banks. Banks did a much better job this game opposed to last game to getting to the proper spot and working the correct leverage. But you can see it's not the perfect leverage because 95 gets upfield on Banks and it obstructs. Like Purdy, I would say it's designed to throw from right here. The reason I say 99 spatial awareness is because he's got to step away and step up and then watch his shoulder. So he understands the leverage here. He understands he's got to work away. Like, look at how, like, just say if he plants, stands up like a statue and throws, there's a good chance that hand snags the ball. But the spatial awareness to be able to step up and float away while throwing and deliver a dime, those are the small nuances. Those are the small nuances that are the difference with this guy. Like his ability to feel pressure, to understand leverage, understand what he has to do. Again, that might just, we might just watch that and be like, "Oh, it's a good throw. It's a good throw. Brandon Ayuk makes a good effort here, and we're gonna get to Ayuk in a second, but it's this little step up and fade away that potentially saves the ball from getting snatched and this not being a completion. And then shout out Ayuk. This was a great play. Almost got a touchdown here. Almost got a touchdown here. Offensive line, good work. So we have enough sample size, guys. Like he's not perfect yet. There is still some mistakes that show up, but he doesn't limit the offense. In fact, I really think you can make the argument that he expands the offense. He keeps plays alive. And that's huge for a guy that we were hoping just wouldn't derail the offense. The fact that we're having this conversation after 4 games, like that we're talking about like this play. This is another play that is just a heady, cerebral play. Like it might look like a broken down play that you lose 5 yards on, but it's the process behind it. This is a screen to Christian McCaffrey. Shout out Chase Young. Chase Young doesn't bite. Doesn't bite at all. In fact, he reads screen, Look at Purdy. So we talk about Purdy's eye manipulation. Where are his eyes? First goes outside, then bring goes kind of at a more inside angle here. Look at the relation. Gets gets the linebacker out the middle of the field, and then he's going to come back to CMC. As he's in the process of going back to CMC, he realizes right here, oh crap, CMC's covered. In fact, he's got two guys right here ready to pick this ball off. He somehow stops his throw. You can see like he tries to catch the ball like as he's throwing it. And this is the next point of why I would call this a cerebral play. He then bails, right? And so the question here is, but why not throw the ball away? I'll show you right now. It's a screen. So on screens, what does that mean? That means your guys like Brendel and Trent Williams, look at where they are. So if he throws the ball, they're going to get flagged for illegal man downfield. So that's why I'm talking like it's not a positive play. They lose 5 yards on it, right? Like it's not a positive play, but it's a positive play in the sense of just Brock Purdy being a smart dude. He knows he can't throw this ball. It's a screen. You got offensive lineman downfield. That's going to be an eligible man downfield, and that's going to be a penalty. And he's going to try his best to pick up as much yards as he can get. Still going to lose yards on the play. However, he avoids a penalty, which again, just the whole process. It's a failed play. Not there. It's, who is this guy? Who is this guy? I don't even know. Is this we're gonna get a penalty? Yeah, there it is. hey, hey, Mike knew he messed up too. The body language on this one is just it's pretty classic. The reason why, like, I'm not losing sleep over this false start because I get it. It was kind of a compounding issue. You just saw the 49ers lost 5 yards on the previous play. Then you come back, you get a false start. Not great. Not great. But to be fair, to be perfectly fair, if and that's what we try to do here. We try to be fair. We're 21 minutes in, so let's see. It's 3rd and 9, 1 minute left in the third. This is Mike McGlinchey's first mistake of the game. It's his first mistake of the game. He's been great all game. But see, this is where the disconnect happens between, discourse about offensive line. He can be fantastic for 22 straight minutes, and then we get a false start. I get it. Granted, this is a bad false start. And he knew it. Look at him. He freaking knew it. He's like, I screwed that one up. That was bad. He's like, I'm getting dragged on Twitter right now as we speak. Like he knows. He knows it was not good. But considering all things considered, the head drop. It's the head drop for me. Hey, at least he knows. At least he knows. Yeah, it was a bad play. But I thought it was pretty damn funny. I thought it was pretty funny. So yeah, not great. They have to get they have to kick a field goal. So kind of stalls the drive. And again, it was they were already going backwards. It already wasn't headed in the right direction, after the first failed screen attempt. So it is what it is. This play, not much to it. um, oh, the shovel. We got a shovel pass. I like the shovel pass here. We talk about gravity with Christian McCaffrey. One of the first things that I said when we traded for Christian McCaffrey was the fact that he would bring this gravity aspect to the game. Just watch when he goes out, it draws these two guys. So McCaffrey going out on a fake pitch draws two, and they go right underneath it. If Aaron Banks, and again, we talked about this earlier with Banks, if Banks plays with better pad level and a better base, this could potentially have been a touchdown. This could have been a touchdown. But Banks pulls into the hole. He's in the right spot, but look at his feet. See how close together his feet are? Like, see that this snapshot, you know, again, if I have to put my offensive line coach on, hat, whatever, my offensive line hat coach on, what God, I can't even speak. If I have to pretend like I'm an offensive line coach, I'm stopping it right here and I'm looking at Banks. And before we even play it or I give a coaching point, I'm going to say, Banks, what's wrong with this picture? And I guarantee you, Banks is going to say, my feet are too close together and I'm standing straight up like a light post. Can't do that. So, okay, you get the wide base here, but you've already lost your leverage. You get beat to the outside. You basically have to hold to save on to dear life. If he's able to break this down, get proper leverage, get proper base, get hat on body, Kittle might score here because you see McGlinchey comes in, drops 22. Juwan's got a block. Croft's got a block. Kittle is probably going right off Banks' hip for a touchdown. So that's the coaching point. And we've seen this a couple times on this tape. He can get better at this. But again, see this? See those feet? Don't want that. See that pad level? Don't want that. That's how you get caught in a bad spot. Could have been a touchdown. This one's funny to me. This is the next false start. This one was funny to me because I think this one might have been on Brock. Watch McGlinchey's reaction to this. McGlinchey's hot. Okay, remember we just watched the other false start. McGlinchey clearly is going to take ownership for a false start that is his fault. Mike is pissed. And does it look like he's pissed at someone in particular? Who's he looking at when he's I'm not gonna lie. You don't see Mike get hot too often. He's hot. And so I watched this play a couple times because I'm focusing. You can see like you can see when Purdy is in his cadence. Like you see the little shoulder, like you can see when he's talking. And and I can see Purdy looks like he's looking at the linebackers creeping up. And I've been asked this before. It's like, why is it McGlinchey that moves and no one else does? To me, in my opinion, when you've got a guy like Montez Sweat on the edge who runs a 4.440 as a tackle on an island, you have to time the cadence so that you have an upper hand in your pass set. Because let's face it, moving backwards while you have one of the best athletes on the face of the earth running at your face is a very difficult thing to do to try to stop him. So what you try to do as a tackle when you're on an island is you try to time up the cadence so that you're getting a jump start because you know the cadence. You understand what it is, and you can see the way he rocks. Like, it's not an egregious false start. It's the way he rocks right here. That to me is him trying to time the cadence. And I think Purdy paused on the cadence. And I think that's why that occurred. And I think that's why Mike turns around and is so pissed. He's like, I'm already getting dragged on Twitter. I'm already getting dragged right now. I'm already in the trenches. Come on, man. Call the snap count like we know it should be called. Come on, I'm already getting dragged. So that's why I think, this one. And look at Purdy. You watch Purdy too. Like, he looks at Mike. They like make eye contact, and Purdy's like, oh man, my bad. And then Purdy's like walking over, like, my bad, Mike. I thought this was funny. I got a laugh out of this. I thought this was hilarious. I like it. I'm not gonna lie. Let him know, Mike. Let him know, man. He's like, I'm getting dragged right now. Oh, good stuff. Like I said, Mike had a phenomenal game. He really did. He had a really good game. The most egregious things he did were those false starts. Other than that, when you're talking about blocking, you're talking about pass blocking, you're talking about run blocking, you talk about all that good stuff. Mike did his job. He had a good day in the office. But I thought that there's the fact that there's two distinct uh, body languages between both the false starts. I'm not sure I've really seen something so drastic where one he's like, "Yeah, it's my fault," and the other one was like, "Damn it, Rook." I thought that was funny. That was good stuff. Also too, we're gonna get Brock showing the wheels again. Again, more spatial awareness here because he wants to go to Kittle. Kittle is open, but I think he also understands that the passing lane is closing because look at the two defenders that he pump fakes it. There's a good chance that gets swatted, and he knows that. So he pump fakes him and then takes off. I mean, it's not bad. And again, credit, you got to give some credit to Jamin Davis. Look how fast this guy covers some ground here. That's he was booking. Like if Jamin kind of bit up a little bit more on CMC, there's a good chance Brock could actually score on this. But great individual effort by number 52 on this play. You can really see the speed. I think he's a rookie. He's either a rookie or second year player. I can't remember, but good play by him. Let's see. We got a Purdy dart. How many likes are we at? I saw that we're like at 200 likes. Should be at 300. because Brock Purdy's a GOAT. He is him. $229. Oh, we should be at 250 by the time I finish this sentence. Shout out all the lurkers. You know what to do. Smash that like button. Listen to Harris. Let's see. 20 and we've got we got a couple more plays left. So we're getting close to the end. But we still have some good quality plays left to be made by Brock Purdy and gang. Did we pass the Ayuk dart? Ayuk dart? Ayuk dart. Again, pitch and catch. Pitch and catch. Easy money. Great protection by the offensive line up front. Pitch and catch. Easy money. All right. Next play. We're gonna get another 3rd and Jawan coming up. So 3rd and 8. Jawan Jennings, Kittle. You got 2x2. Motion Kittle to the inside. Dart. Another reason why I like this throw a lot by Brock Purdy is because he throws it away from the linebacker. One of the things that is starting to become a trend, like with the trend, it was so much of a trend with Jimmy Garoppolo that we had a name for his slant passes, right? We called them suicide slants because if you were catching a pass from Jimmy Garoppolo, like again, Jimmy does some things really well, and I keep prefacing why the comparison is just because that's all we have to compare. But Jimmy would throw darts into linebackers or into safeties to the point where we called them suicide slants because he was getting guys killed. We've seen it a million times, like George Kittle getting just destroyed catching balls over the middle because he gets thrown into linebackers. Well, like this, same concept. It's a slant. You're going to have the defender in the middle of the field, but the concept that the ball is low and away pulls Jawan out of harm's way and sits him down for a first down, avoids a hit. And I don't think this is an accident. I think this ball placement is intentional and for those reasons that I mentioned. He understands that, hey, I'm not going to throw my guy into a tackle. I'm going to try to get this low and away so he has a chance to fight back for the ball and not get a shot to the ribs. It's good stuff. Oh, we get a Trent Williams. We get Trent Williams' signature backside move for the culture on Jonathan Allen. So just ragdolls him. Love Trent, man. Impossible not to love Trent. Playing against his former team, Jonathan Allen is a stud. Signature backside club snatch. That's what I call it. I don't know what the hell this is called. I call it club snatch because you're going to get the opposite. He uses his left hand to club across. The snatch is the right arm on top of the pads and ragdolls him. This is his signature move. I've never seen anyone else do it. Trent does it with literal consistency. Club snatch on the ground. And this is also, too, I think this might be one of TDP's best runs. I really like this run. I think if he I like the cut, I like the vision. This is a zone, so I like how he's pushing it up. I like this angle. Push, push, angle back, cut, and this little burst out the cut, and then into another cut. If he could throw one more cut to the right, he has a blocker in Brendel. It's a hard ask. It's a hard ask. But if he could have done it, we've seen JP do it where if he instead of cutting here and running straight, if he took one step and cut to the right with the blocker, you see what I'm talking about? Instead of just going, I'm going to go take on the world by myself. If he continued this process of cut, he can clearly do it because you get the cut, one more cut might be a house call. Like if this is a cut right here, he has a blocker. If he can snake through, might have been a touchdown. But nonetheless, I like it. Still a good run from TDP. It's asking a lot, but for the most part, I like it. 276. Oh yeah, we should get to 200 quick, or we should get to 300 quick. All right. Oh, is this the Joanna Menace play? No, not this play. Next play. Another good run by TDP. Solid. Gets upfield north south in a hurry. I'll take that all day. No, where's my Menace play? Oh, it's coming up. Not bad. This is the one. Jawan. Jawan's awesome, man. And you have a wide receiver blocking like that, just pissing off the defense. It's a difference, man. Not bad. Not bad. This one's a sack, I believe. So I don't mind this. I don't mind Brock taking a sack here because you have to tip your cap to the Commanders. They do a really good job of just bringing the right pressure at the right time. They're going to bring a defensive back off the edge on a blitz. It's going to be play action, and they come right off the back side. I don't mind Brock just eating this. Again, Kittle didn't love it. But I don't mind Brock just eating that sack. Pause. This one you're gonna get nice trap by Aaron Banks here. Who is Mike blocking right there? It's run action, so they're trying to make it look like run to the left. So he's trying to make it look like they're gonna double here, but it's run action. So he's looking back to the outside to see if there's any additional rushers coming. So Mike does what he's supposed to do. Not a big deal there. Oh, so we're gonna end it with two good plays, three good plays. You're gonna get the trap. Nice run here by CMC right up the middle. Great trap. Not bad there. Oh, we're close. This is a 4th and 3. 4th and 3. I think this is the George Kittle play. So George Kittle said that this should have been a touchdown if Brock led him, and I agree. If Brock leads him a little bit more, this is a touchdown. But I also understand why he's not leading him because as you can see, the Commanders bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 on 5. They have a free rusher up the B gap. So 51 is going to come in untouched. So you can see instead of stepping into the throw, Purdy is stepping away and pulling away to embrace for impact. And you see how the ball kind of just goes more in a straight line opposed to leading, but absolutely insane catch by Kittle to bring that in. Balls behind him. That is an insane catch. Like it is. Great job by Kittle there. But yeah, I agree. You lead George here. This is a walk-in touchdown. But Purdy was worried about the free rusher, so he kind of pulled away. And so still decent throw, better catch by George. And then we end with CMC touchdown. So offensively, the San Francisco, and you get a nice little trap here. It's kind of like a counter because Jawan is actually one of the leading blockers, but CMC takes out Jawan. So CMC takes out everyone to get in for a touchdown. So nice work. Good job, gang. And that is the last play of the 49ers offensive take. Took us about an hour and a half to get through it. Good job, gang. Congrats. And right on cue, we got to 300 likes. Let's go. Shout out the squad. We did it. We made it through these film breakdowns that we've been doing since week 13. They are much longer than what we normally do. I'll try to condense everything within to an hour, but I just feel like this is an exciting time because we're trying to piece together the story of what Brock Purdy really is. Like, I think there's so much intrigue because he was the last pick in the NFL draft, because he was Mr. Irrelevant, because he was the third string quarterback. People's brains, like, they just can't like fathom that the last pick in the NFL draft is actually good, let alone better than maybe your starting quarterback, maybe the quarterback that you drafted with the 3rd overall pick, he might be better. Like I'm not here to play favorites. Listen, the quarterback conversation around the San Francisco 49ers is like it's like politics, right? Like you pick a side and you stick with that side and you argue it until you're black and blue because you've gotten punched in the face by the opposing side so many different times. That's what talking about the quarterback position is like inside the San Francisco 49ers fan base. But then comes Brock Purdy, 7th round draft pick, last pick in the NFL draft. And we're like, we can make the argument, even though I think we have enough sample size by now. I think we have enough that I can confidently say that Brock Purdy is the best quarterback to play under center for the San Francisco 49ers this season. And there's been 3 quarterbacks. He's been better than Trey and he's been better than Jimmy. And it's nuts. It's crazy. Like that Brock Purdy is out here, one, not limiting the offense. Again, I keep saying it, not limiting the offense, but he is taking the offense to another level. Something that Jimmy wasn't, it felt like Jimmy was like along for the ride. And it felt like Trey, they had to completely scrap the offense that Kyle would run to fit Trey's skill set. So with Trey, it was just a different offense and it didn't work well. And then with Jimmy, it was like, just don't make that mistake that is going to derail everything. With Brock, like he's creating. He's he's expanding plays. He's creating within the structure and he's ad-libbing. Like listen, you take away all the like you take away the labels, you take away 3rd overall pick, you take away veteran quarterback, you know, Jimmy Garoppolo, like you just you take away 7th round draft pick, you take it all away. You just strip it all away. And the thought processes that go along with each label, and you just have 3 dudes. Brock Purdy is playing better than the other 2 dudes. It's what it is. That's just what it is. Like you hear the expression all the time when it comes to football players. They're always going to talk about this. They're going to say it like this. The eye in the sky never lies. Tape never lies. Watch the film, watch the tape. The reason why they say that over and over again is because anyone can take stats and manipulate stats. We can make any stat fit our narrative, good or bad. Like it's just the function of life. Like you can take numbers and you can manipulate their meaning. With tape, you can't manipulate its meaning. It is what it is. It's there for you to see. It's up to you to be able to understand what you're watching, but it is there. And everything that we've seen, everything that Brock Purdy is continuing to put on tape is like, this is for real. Like we saw the glimpses against the Dolphins, but like we talked about with the Dolphins, we didn't know what the measure of consistency would be. That was our question. Okay, he was great against the Dolphins, but can he do this consistently? That is the true measure of success in the NFL. It's the first thing that I said when we were losing our minds during the film breakdown against the Dolphins. Can he do this week in, week out? Yes, he can. And that should be exciting for all of us. Trey fans, Jimmy fans, we're all Brock Purdy fans right now. I I'm not sure I can look across the San Francisco 49ers fan base and say that there are people that don't like Brock Purdy. Right now, it's impossible, in my opinion, to root against Brock Purdy. Nothing's been handed to him. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say the position was handed to him, like, it wasn't given to him. It was he got to it by weird circumstances that were outside of his control, but it wasn't given to him nonetheless, and he's taken it and he's run with it. We'll see. Playoff we know playoff football is a different gear, it's a different speed, there's another level to it, so that's just the next test. There's boxes that Brock has to check, and he is checking all of them off. The next box, how do you perform in the playoffs? Because to me, the offseason checklist passed. Flying colors, all of it. Like deep ball, touch, short area, zip, um, ball placement, pocket awareness, spatial awareness, uh, arm angles, mobility, processing. Just go down the freaking list. What the only thing that I can like functionally like feel confident in saying that the box that Brock doesn't check, he doesn't check the size category. He doesn't check he's not your prototypical Josh Allen. That's the box that he doesn't check. But guess what? That's been who Brock is his whole career. And what we're seeing is a guy who understands his limitations physically and clearly has workarounds. So he's passed the test, in my opinion. So moving into the playoffs, uh, I feel confident. I think there's a reason. I think let's ask the chat. We're gonna poll the chat. We're gonna poll the chat, and then we're gonna pass out cookies and all that good stuff. But let's poll the chat. I want to hear from you guys. Are you confident that this team right now, led by Brock Purdy, can go to the can go to the Super Bowl? I'm not saying win it because we get it. I don't want to go there yet, just because I'm a little stitious. But are you confident that this team, led by Brock Purdy, can go to the Super Bowl? So far in the chat, I see a lot of yeses. So far, see a lot of yeses. And that is just like I'm getting goosebumps. Like that's that's like we're on something special right now. Like I'm getting goosebumps just seeing you guys. Yes, 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 yes. Like I haven't seen this fan base this confident about like we were confident about last year, but ooh, there was a little part of us last year that was like, oh, we could choke it at any minute. Whatever it is, I don't know if it's quarterback fatigue, uh, I don't know. But there is a confidence level in this fan base right now that I haven't seen in a long time. I don't know if I've ever seen it, to be honest. You go back to 2019, we had a lot of doubters, but at the same time, we were still trying to figure out who we were in 2019. because we hadn't had a successful season yet. We didn't know what that looked like under Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo. 2018 was a disaster. 2017 was a disaster. 2019, we're like, are we good? I, well, we've won 8 games in a row, so yeah, we're good. Okay, we keep winning. We're good. It's like, oh, okay, we're good. We're a good team. We're good. We blow out the Vikings in the playoffs. We destroy the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship. Like, okay, we're good. But there was still that element of like, I don't know. It just feels different. Just feels different. Um, right now. And I like this. I agree. QB is not our weakest link right now, which is pretty crazy to say. Um, so hopefully, we don't get too ahead of ourselves. And, anything can happen. It's the NFL. Literally any given Sunday, we get it. But right now, the optimism, I think, for the 49ers is at an all-time high. All the power rankings came out this week, and it clearly the 49ers are at the top of a lot of those power rankings. Um, so it's not just the fan base here internally that believes, but it's across the fan base. Like it's outside the fan base. Um, w- we're not the only ones that believe. It's other people outside of our fan base that are scared of us. So we're gonna see, man. It's a fun time to be a Niner fan right now. There's a lot of road left, and I'm excited to see what it looks like when we get into the playoffs and see how these guys operate. The defense that we have is insane. The offense is playing at a high level. Debo Samuel's going to return probably this week. So, knock on wood, stay healthy, get out of these next 2 games as healthy as possible, and turn on an entirely different gear heading into the playoffs. And now you're heading into the playoffs with a quarterback who is a rookie, but now has 5 or 6 starts under his belt. And the team is heating up at the right time. And there's a belief in the quarterback. 49ers are dangerous. They are very, very dangerous. So looking forward to it. Joey says Jimmy will start in the playoffs. I don't think he will. If and we can pull the chat again. Like if Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy in the divisional round, I'm riding with Brock. And that's nothing against Jimmy. It's not Jimmy was good this year, especially for his standards. Jimmy was good this year. But if Brock Purdy wins out, goes to Las Vegas, another just solid performance against the Raiders. They beat the Cardinals. I gotta stick with a hot hand, man. I can't mess that up. Jimmy Garoppolo, for all that he's done, he hasn't played football. He if we start Jimmy in the playoffs, that's 2 months that Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't played football while being injured. So phenomenal, phenomenal backup. Like best case scenario backup you could have. But you get in the playoffs, you ride Brock. Pause. You just keep on going. Don't stop. If you get Jimmy back, cool. That's a great backup to have. You just gotta ride this out. Gotta ride this out with Brock. from a business standpoint, NFL wants to see underdog story happen again. Man, I hope so. We could use some of that rigged magic on our side. We could absolutely use that. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, but yeah, I think you just gotta ride with Brock, and I feel confident with that. So right on the dot, 2-hour session. If you were here from start to finish, get your cookie. If you liked this video, grab another cookie, and I'm just gonna throw in an extra 2 cookies. Here you go, 2 more cookies. 4 cookies for y'all. Shout out to everyone who vibed with us. Again, these film breakdowns are becoming a lot of fun. I like this. Like, again, we knew what Jimmy was, right? When we're breaking down like the 49ers film with Jimmy, we're like, we know exactly what Jimmy is. There's no surprises. It's pretty much par for the course. Like, this is like new territory. Like, we're like, what do we got here? What is this? We got a new toy. Let's figure out what this new toy can do. Um, so it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate everyone as always for vibing. Uh, no one wants to see Week 3 Jimmy again. Oh, you're talking about against the Broncos? Yeah, man. Shout out to you guys, man. If you start to finish, um, also feel free to hit that like button if you haven't already. If you haven't subbed yet, again, we're doing bigger numbers than normal with these film breakdowns. So if these film breakdowns haven't convinced you to sub to the channel, then that's fine. Probably not a good fit here. But if you like the vibes, smash that sub button, turn the noti bell on so you don't miss any future lives or other content that we post. Brandon says, why do you think people are saying Purdy has a weak arm? He threw a 50-yard touchdown pass to Kittle. It was supposed to go to McLeod. So why do you say that? Uh, I don't know. I don't know how they measure who has a strong arm, who has a weak arm. Um, I don't know if that's measured off of velocity. I don't know if I don't know how it's measured from like let's say a combine type scenario. I can only speak to everything that I've seen from Brock. I don't see a weak arm. Like, I don't see a Josh Allen type arm where he can just sling it wherever he wants. Uh, but hey, uh, his arm is more than adequate. I don't see his arm being an issue. So far from what I've seen, he's got great velocity. He can get the ball where he wants to for the most part, and you saw him go deep. So I don't know. I guess that's how narratives get started. Uh, Small guy, perceived to not have a great arm, strong arm, fits the scouting narrative. I mean, that's why I always say watch the tape. Don't listen to anyone else. Create those opinions on your own because people will lie to you. But appreciate all you guys as always. I saw you've asked this a couple times. Question: what is the weakest part in the team? What is the weakest part in the team? Uh, Defensive line, not it. Linebackers, not it. I don't think it's the safeties. The safeties have been pretty damn good this year. Um, Charvarius Ward hasn't been a weak link. Diamador has been much more solid than I anticipated. Um, you might say O-line, but the O-line has been, the O-line has had its peaks and its valleys this year, but it's also a new unit, and they've got that rotating guard thing going on. I would say probably O-line if you had to really. But even then, it's not like they're the weak link. I don't think they're the weak link. Um, I don't think the 49ers truly have a weak link. Um, but if you had to boil it down, the O-line's been working through some things this year. And yeah, that's probably what I say. But they're not a weak unit. I still think they're a top 10 offensive line unit. So how weak is a top 10 offensive line unit? Can't be that weak. So overall, not too many glaring holes for the 49ers. But I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get out of here for now. 2 hours. 6. Oh, we talked about this yesterday. We talked about this yesterday. I don't think Mike has been the worst offensive lineman this year. But that's also a conversation that's a little too deep for some of y'all. And if you weren't there for it yesterday, we're not going to go into it again. But appreciate you guys as always. You already know the vibes. Smash that like button if you haven't. And we'll be back. What's tomorrow? Wednesday. State of the franchise. Ooh, spicy Aponte coming in hot. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see you.